What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani of TSC News, right here on the Manhattan Neighborhood Network, MNN2, streaming live on MNN.org. Also available on demand on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. We are here to recap all the latest in combat sports, mixed martial arts, and professional wrestling, as well as a little bit of everything in between. If you don't know me, of course, my name is Fred. I am the host and editor of the TSC News YouTube channel, aka The Sports Courier, youtube.com/The Sports Courier, as well as youtube.com/TSC Gaming. And every week, right here on MNN, we're going to be recapping the latest and greatest stories going on in the industry, as well as uncovering some athletes you may know or may not know. And with WrestleMania 33 just a couple weeks away, right around the corner, we're going to take a look back at some of our most memorable moments involving some of the biggest, wackiest stars in all of professional wrestling. Let's not waste any time. Right now, we have a clip from our phenomenal interview, pun intended, with a man who has held the TNA Impact Wrestling World title, the NWA World title, the New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP Heavyweight title, as well as the WWE Championship. He's also the self-proclaimed champ that runs the camp. I'm talking about the phenomenal AJ Styles. You are one of the best wrestlers in the world, have been for the last decade, but is there trouble adjusting sometimes even now when you go to another country and wrestle a different style, such as Mexico and Japan?
Well, I think that's the great thing about TNA is that, you had a lot of guys from different countries, and so that, so many styles were, so different, but you got to be able to adapt to wrestle some of these guys. And I feel like that's one of my strong points is that I'm able to adapt no matter where we go.
Yeah, and you were able to adapt this last year. It's been kind of a crazy year. Fans didn't know whether to boo you, whether to cheer you. Some people thought you were on Aces and Eights side. Some people thought you were on the Main Event Mafia side. You ended up being, only on the Phenomenal One side. And you recently, of course, won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship again against Bully Ray at Bound for Glory. What's this last year been like for you?
It's been weird. I think weird not only for me and but for everybody. Like you said, they didn't know whether to cheer me or to boo me. But the one thing is just, you just go through some strange times and you got to figure out who you are. And it took some time, but I figured out that, I'm the man that is the world heavyweight champion. That's who I need to be. I need to act like it. I need to go after it. And I need to pursue it. And, it was just a battle just to figure out who I was. And I think everybody's been there before. And I don't blame the fans. It was never anything against the fans. It was all me and what was really, making me mad and pissing me off. And it was the way that things are ran at TNA. There's just a lot of stuff that, I didn't agree with in the beginning and don't agree with now. And that leads me to where I am now, taking the TNA World Heavyweight title, my title. Dixie liked to think it's hers, but she didn't win it. She just bought the thing. But I won it, so I'm claiming it as my own. And going in and defending it the way it should be.
A lot of people don't realize that you were actually there in WCW in the dying days. A little-known tag team called Air Raid with Air Paris made a few WCW appearances. Were you there at the end?
I was. I wasn't there at the end show. I wasn't there for that, but I did wrestle at the end. I have a grand total of probably about 5 matches under contract with WCW, and I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was that I was wrestling for WCW and I was happy, but I did see a lot of guys taking pictures with the crew and stuff like that. And so I kind of knew something was up. Like, this may be the last WCW that I'll be on. And it was.
Yeah, it was about a year and a half before TNA started. And of course, you became the face of TNA for years to come. When WCW died, and you couldn't come to terms with WWE, and then you saw what they did with WCW, which was really not much. Was a young guy like you deflated at all because of the fact that all of a sudden ECW's gone? WCW, where you think you're finally going to get your big break after all your hard work, is gone. Japan wasn't the same. What was your mindset at the time prior to TNA forming?
Well, I was going to make a life out of wrestling for me. I was going to find a way to make this my job. And if it was going to Japan for a couple of years and perfecting my craft, and that's what I was going to do. Nobody could tell me any different that I was going to, make it in professional wrestling. So I was going to find a way to make it. And it sucks that ECW and WCW were gone, but if you want to wrestle, you got to get out there and bust your butt and make a living, and sacrifice a lot. And I was willing to do that, but luckily, TNA started up.
Yeah, and you're a guy that developed on the indies, along with a guy like Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Chris Sabin, all the great wrestlers under the Impact Wrestling banner. But unfortunately, there's some people in power these days and numerous companies that think that certain guys, just because they're bred in this place or that place, don't really know how to work. You've been on the independent scene last couple of weeks. Now that you're the TNA World Champion, you've been around the world. Is it safe to say that there's still a high talent level out there?
There's still a talent level, absolutely. I do think that things will change when you get to the next level. It has to change. There's a different way of wrestling, and there's an independent way, and then there's another level. And you got to learn it. It is if I went back, I think years ago, and watched one of my matches, which I thought was perfect, it was great, I'd be disappointed in that match now. Stuff changes. You realize how to work smarter and really tell the story that needs to be told rather than going out there and do senseless bumps without meaning.
How's your body feeling these days? Because you've taken some crazy bumps in the past.
It's not so bad. I do take a lot of crazy bumps, but at this point in my career, they're going to mean something when I take them. And I don't heal as fast as I used to. It's going to take me a couple more days longer than it used to, but I can still do it, man. And when I can't, I think that my time's up.
That's right. And the calf killer, that's an awesome finishing move. That's the kind of like the calf slicer that Charles Oliveira pulled out in UFC. When did you discover that move and start making it part of your arsenal?
Well, I collegiate wrestled in high school, and there's moves that are very similar to jiu-jitsu, but used in very different ways. But my brothers took to Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I took a little bit of myself and messed around. They showed me this little move called it was, like you said, a calf killer, and then they actually call it the calf cutter. And it's excruciating pain. If you've ever been in one before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've always wanted a submission. It's just trying to find the right one. And this one no one ever seen before, and it worked out perfect for me. If you've ever been in it before, it's legit.
Are you an MMA fan at all?
Sure am. I think any man out there has got to be an MMA fan. I believe if MMA would have been as popular as it was when I came out of high school and college, that would have definitely been the route that I would have went.
And UFC President Dana White has mentioned in the past that he thinks boxing and the UFC can coexist without really hurting each other, even though they're technically competing for the same pay-per-view dollars. Do you think pro wrestling and MMA can as well, or do you think MMA has actually hurt pro wrestling over the years?
No, I think that they all can coexist. They're all totally different if you think about it. Pro wrestling is entertainment, and they're all forms of entertainment, but they're all different. MMA, I think, is great because because I enjoy it, but I also enjoy boxing because it's something different. It's they're all the same, but they're all different. I know I'm confusing you here, but with boxing, the way that HBO builds up their fights is unbelievable. I think they do a better job than anybody right now. UFC, sometimes I can't. I don't know who's champion anymore. There's so many fights happening. At least in boxing, there's a couple months in between these matches. With UFC, it seems like there's always a fight going on, so I lose track of who's the champ. And then with pro wrestling, you're getting it on. You can get it on, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And probably more than that. So I think there's benefits to everybody in the fact that pay-per-view dollars, yes. I think the thing that's damaging pro wrestling, MMA, boxing is people getting it for free. I think that's the people that we're fighting against the most is trying to find ways of keeping people from getting it for free.
Is there somebody left on your list who would be a dream opponent for you?
Wow. That's a hard one. Obviously there's people in the other company that I'd love to wrestle. I think that we'd have great matches. But there's a guy I've always wanted to have a one-on-one match with. I don't know if I'll ever get that opportunity before he retires, but Rey Mysterio would be one of those guys that I think that I could tear the house down with. I think it'd be a very entertaining match, but will that happen? Who knows?
Is there anybody from the past that's no longer with us or now retired that you would have loved to wrestle?
Eddie Guerrero was one of those guys. I would like to get in the ring with him and learn from him. I mean, I thought that we had a very similar style, so it'd been fun.
Hard to believe that interview was nearly 4 years ago with AJ Styles. How ironic. It was coming off of his final TNA World title win. He later went on to New Japan, had a Hall of Fame run for 2 years in New Japan, ended up in WWE, and quite frankly and surprisingly to me, he is having one heck of a Hall of Fame run under Vince McMahon's promotion. Dreams really do come true. And keep in mind, this dude is 40 years old, still doing his thing. Just incredible. And speaking of incredible, not only have we interviewed some of the greatest superstars of all time, such as AJ Styles, but we've interviewed some of the weirdest and wackiest. Let's take a look at some of our wildest moments involving pro wrestlers in TSC history. Fred Richani here for the SportsCourier.com with legend Fred Richani.
Bless you. Zoom tight. Wipe your beak. That's not a nose, that's a beak. He's talking, not me. Now I'm talking. All right, listen. Good. Proceed with the interview.
All right, I'm here with the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, the legendary pro wrestling tag team, former WWE tag team champions.
Current tag team champions of the universe.
Current tag team.
The most tremendous tag team in wrestling today. Another question I have for you. When you're talking, why do you stand there and go like this the whole time?
I got something in my hands. And
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's better. Zoom tight. There. He has allergies. Yeah. It's a Jersey pollen. We don't have Jersey pollen in Florida. We have Florida pollen in Florida.
The SportsCourier.com with my knight in shining armor, I guess blue armor to Blue Meanie, who ran off the Headbangers and saved me from what was all but the demise of myself. Blue Meanie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm good. I could be of service against those rascally skirt-wearing rascals. You know, the Headbangers. Me and those guys go back a ways. I know they are mischievous. So, but I'm just as mischievous too. But don't worry, my friend. You're safe with me.
How can I get on the list?
That's a joke, right?
It's a serious question.
We talked about your hair.
Dude, I'm from Jersey.
Whoa, Cameron. Dude, start at these shoes and then just move up. Look at the way you're dressed, bro. Do you think I would go anywhere in public with you? Do you I was at DJ's last night. Do you think I would go with you to DJ's dressed like this? Do you understand the amount?
I don't make Robbie E money.
Do you understand the amount of girls that I get, bro? Do you know how that number would decrease if you were with me? You're a hamster, and you will never be on the list.
Does Cookie know you're seeing other girls?
You're a hamster that asks me questions. Cookie, are you kidding me, bro? I kicked her to the curb a year ago. Is this thing done?
It's done.
Later, dweeb.
Thank you for sparing my life and not hitting me with the Dominator. Well, not yet.
Hey, this is not over yet. You know? I'm thinking about your neck looks good, you know? Let's see how that'll feel around my hand.
Yeah,
what do you think, huh? Can you talk now?
I can talk
Can you say damn?
Damn.
Can you say it louder?
Damn.
Selling these awesome mustaches. I mean, this is great.
The beast is always on the loose. I challenge most young men to try to keep up with the schedule that I keep. I enjoy it. And see, yes, I do combination. I call this the tough man kit. Slap on a mustache. You'd be surprised when the ladies ask you a question, if you simply just do one of these numbers or one of these numbers, how much more seriously they take you to process. I mean, already in this interview, I'm taking you just that much more seriously in this interview here now. It's the beauty of the beast.
Just wondering, how do you get that epic beard? How long did it take you to grow that thing?
Meanie secret. No, but seriously, just little loving care. You know, you gotta keep it trim. Gotta pray to it. You gotta do everything. You gotta nurture it. You gotta condition it. You know, you gotta take care. You gotta do the do. You gotta take care of the do.
Well, he said, take care to do. Fred Richani for TSC News here at PWS's All Fired Up. I'm fired up because I'm standing alongside Habib from The Carwash. He is the suicidal six-way champion. He's got the gold. If you can't see it, that's look how shiny. That's just awesome, man. And Habib, you are going up against 5 other competitors, including the former Mason Ryan. What are your thoughts on this epic challenge? So, what's it like being the suicidal six-way champion? Are you suicidal or homicidal like Sabu? There are rumors. At least my webmaster on the other side told me there are rumors that you actually purchased Walter White's car wash. Once Walter White, well, whatever the hell happened to Walter White in Breaking Bad, we won't give any spoilers. Is that true? I'm good. Joined by professional wrestling legend, the Iron Sheik. Sheiky, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, and especially last night, my agents, New Generation, Megan boys, take me to the Courier Broadway, and for the my roast, that was excellent. I'm talking, man. I'm talking, and you're talking. Take my attention, man. So, WrestleMania number 1, Nikola Volkov, and myself become the champion. That was my best memory. And then also number 2, I lost my belt to the Hulk Hogan, and I was very upset about it. Hey man, I can't do business like that. I'm talking, you talking over that. I can't do that. So just don't send the people here if you don't want to talk to them. So, what do you ask me, sir?
You are certainly missing out. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. And I hope you can smart with your Twitter to my 2 jabroni agents. Make smart him. Tell him do the job good for your champion, or otherwise I have to fire both of them.
Fred Richani here for the SportsCourier.com, a former WCW and TNA Impact Wrestling superstar, Disco Inferno, Gilbertti. Disco, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Now, while you weren't victorious earlier tonight against Cole Cabana...
No, but he pulled the tights, okay? He cheated repeatedly. It's all on camera. They filmed it. So the decision probably will be reversed eventually, I'm pretty sure.
People are wondering, are we ever going to get a Boogie Nights reunion with Alex Wright?
Not unless he wants to fly over from Germany.
Would you want to fly to Germany?
Fly to Germany? What, on my own dime? I mean, if Alex Wright flies me over there, I'll sure fly to Germany. You know that Alex Wright has a wrestling school where they have like 250 students. Alex Wright has convinced 250 people that he knows about wrestling and is teaching people how to wrestle. Can you believe that? The audacity. When I was the one that taught Alex Wright how to wrestle, I mean, don't you think maybe he should be kicking me back some money?
He hasn't invited you to do a seminar or anything?
No, obviously, because they'll expose him. I mean, they'll like see me and they'll say like, obviously you're the one that was like the brains of the operation for sure.
Congratulations, Abby. Great. And can we see the guns if that's all right?
Yes, sir. Gotta see it, baby. Get in on that.
Wow.
Come and get some.
Wow.
I'm bringing it, baby.
Wow.
And
before we...
22, baby. Come and get some of them 22. Come on now. Don't be afraid. Yeah.
That's right, Fred. Now one for Fred. Fred's got the whole world in his hand. Fred has the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. Oh, follow. Follow the butter.
Man, that was pretty wacky. And before we go, just to give you guys another little taste of what you can expect from TSC News right here on MNN, as well as TSC News on YouTube, we're going to play a clip from our interview with Austin Aries, the former TNA Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, a guy who looks primed to capture the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania 33. And you've had an incredible couple years with TNA. Now, a lot of people may not know this. You almost left the wrestling business, I believe, in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, just transitioning, thinking of other things to do with my life. Sometimes, they say sometimes if you're in something too close for too long, you have to take a step back to get a better perspective of it. So I just felt at that time that maybe taking a step back from wrestling and just focusing elsewhere was good for me on a personal level. But fate intervened, and TNA gave me a call and said, "Come on down for this X Division showcase we're doing. We're having basically a tournament sort to see who's going to get a contract." And I figured it was an opportunity I should definitely take advantage of, and I did.
Have you had a chance to kind of sit back and reflect on these last couple years with TNA? Because here you are, a guy that, one of the best wrestlers in the world for quite some time now. You almost stepped away from the business for good, came back, not only had a great X Division run, but won the world title when I think a lot of people didn't expect you to get a run, knocked it out of the park. I mean, have you really had a chance to sit back and say, wow, these last couple of years have been awesome?
Yeah, man. I mean, I live a mile from Clearwater Beach, so I get down there and I get to sit back and reflect a lot and just think about stuff. My brain's always motoring, so I'm always thinking, and I've definitely reflected on how grateful I am and what an opportunity that came in front of me at the right time in my life for me to take advantage of it. And I'm very thankful for that. And that being said, I'm not satisfied, and I have more things I want to accomplish within the wrestling world, outside of the wrestling world. But absolutely, it's always important for me. I'm a very passionate guy, and my emotions, sometimes can get the best of me. So it's important for me to step back and reflect and be thankful for everything that's in front of me right now.
Now, you mentioned outside of the ring. I know you're a long way from retiring, but is there another field you're looking into, perhaps acting or some type of entrepreneurship outside of the ring?
I mean, I think if you ask all those professional wrestlers, we all consider ourselves actors. We're all entertainers. So I mean, if we can find ways to do that outside of the ring, I think we're all open to that. So that's something I'm always interested in pursuing. I've been singing with the band down here for about 8 months now. We're kind of getting to that stage where we've got enough material to kind of really refine it and maybe start playing out some shows. Maybe get something out for general consumption. That's something that's really driving me too, as far as creatively, and a good outlet for me and my emotions and my thoughts and my feelings. And then my lifestyle, being a plant-based diet, following a vegan lifestyle, something that I'm kind of interested in, getting in that fitness world and showing people that you can not consume animal products and still be healthy and fit and have muscles.
Would you say is that the biggest misconception of being a vegan?
Yeah, I mean, I think they think it's all, some guy in some skinny jeans, picking out a salad or something, but it's not the case. There's when you really start doing digging on what we have put in front of us as far as our diet and what we think our diet's supposed to be, and you find out where that was basically taught to us by the people who've been teaching us and telling us that we need calcium, so we have to drink cow's milk, and we need meat, and you need red meat. And when you start digging it up and you start to realize the truths behind it, it's not a hard decision for me to make to abstain from those things. And even if it's not abstaining, severely cutting back our intake would do wonders for our health, for the health of the environment. And so many other things. So, the conception is that, you can't have muscles if you don't eat meat. Well, it's just not true. There's protein in lots of food sources. And at the end of the day, it's just about eating quality food. And if you feed your body enough quality food in excess of what you burn, then you'll build muscle if you're working out.
Is it tough for you to maintain that healthy lifestyle being on the road, especially with your workout regimen? I mean, you are in tremendous shape, but I would imagine it's probably taking you some time to develop a routine going from city to city.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. I became vegetarian in 2000, so I mean, I've been learning for over a decade, and you never stop. It's difficult at times just because there's still a lack of awareness, I think, culturally in this country. So depending on where I am, some places can be a little tricky, but I've just kind of learned that I'm always prepared. I know I'm the guy outside the box right now, so when I travel, I have everything I need with me. Always carry some bags of some lentils, pre-cooked lentils. They make really good veggie protein powders, which is no different than a lot of the guys carry stuff around. They're carrying around cans of tuna, packets of tuna, and whey protein. I'm carrying around lentils and plant protein. It's really no different. It's just being prepared.
It seems like for as long as I can remember, you've always kind of had that star quality about you. Like, do you have that confidence every time you walk out there to the ring that not everybody has? How long did it take you to really develop that confidence? Was it when you started getting over into indies when you said, okay, if I could get over in front of 500 people, 5,000 people, I could get over in front of 50,000 people, or did it just come over time?
It comes over time, and you've never, and part of it's always kind of, to be honest, I think everyone has confidence and has self-confidence, and issues with self-confidence, and it's a balance. And I think for me, the biggest step in really walking up there, being 100% confident in what I do, is just being real and honest with, what I do and don't bring to the table. Be honest with my faults, be honest with my strengths. I feel if you're honest with yourself, you kind of take everyone else's bullets away to shoot you with. So when I walk out there, I'm comfortable in that situation. I've worked very hard for a long time. I put a lot of work into to get to that point. And I've been in front of all different crowds of all different sizes, of different nationalities, different languages, different concepts of what professional wrestling is. And I've learned what I've had to do to get over and entertain those people. And that's an experience, and I think that's something that's really undervalued in this profession. People think that they can train people inside a bubble or cookie cutter them out, and that they're going to go out there and know how to connect with people. And that's not something that you can learn in that environment necessarily, unless you're one of those special people who has it innately. A lot of these guys who have gone on to really be successful have done it the same way. We've gone up and down the roads and have had to do it and fail in front of different people, different times, to learn what to do to be successful. And I think that my second time around coming back to TNA, when I walked in there and it was just a one show deal, there was no promises. I was 100% confident in who I was and what I could go out there and accomplish. And I think people can connect to that because there's something that's authentic about it.
Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that nice trip down memory lane, our 7+ year history here with TSC News. If you like what you see, please tune in every Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on MNN2 in the Manhattan area. You can also stream live MNN.org. And if you want to watch all our other clips, live recaps, and much, much more, log on to youtube.com/The Sports Courier. If you love video games, you can also check out our video game channel, youtube.com/TSC Gaming. You want to tweet us at Sports Courier, at Fred Richani, at TSC News on Instagram, facebook.com/The Sports Courier. Until next time, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. As always, enjoy the matches.